Welcome to the Instagram stories for Wednesday, November 15th. I'm your host, Daniel Hill. The biggest news of the day comes from TikTok, who are doing a new music integration, and I think you're going to like it. TikTok announced today the Add to Music app, a new feature which will give music fans the ability to save the songs that they discover on TikTok on the music streaming services of their choice. The Add to Music app is launching for users in the US and the UK in partnership with major streaming services, including Amazon Music and Spotify. Here's how it's going to work. When you're watching a video that has a song and you're interested in the song, the feature will appear as a button that says Add Song next to the track name at the bottom of the TikTok video in the For You feed, so you can save the song to the music streaming service of your choice. The first time you push the Add Song button, you pick which preferred music streaming service you want to use. The track will then be saved to a default playlist in the preferred music streaming service, but you can choose to add it to a new playlist or an existing playlist. After you've used the Add to Music feature for the first time, whatever music app you've selected, Spotify, Apple Music, whatever, will then become the default music streaming service for future track saves. But of course, you can change that at any time. I really like this from an integration standpoint. I'm a huge fan of all the integrations that Spotify has. I have Sonos speakers, which Spotify integrates with. It also integrates extremely well with the PlayStation. I have a PS5, so I listen to my Spotify tracks over there. Love that they're connecting it to TikTok as well. Although, as a reminder, TikTok is building its own music app, so it seems like they have some good partnerships. Hopefully they don't jeopardize those partnerships once they launch TikTok Music in more countries. We are going to take a quick break, but when we come back, we're going to talk about some Instagram news that has to do with the Close Friends feature, as well as Threads news, so stick around. And we're back. Let's get into the Instagram news. The CEO of Meta, Mark Zuckerberg, posted in his Instagram broadcast channels, quote, "Sharing with your close friends is now expanding to feed and reels, more types of posts with the same smaller group," end quote. Let's just give that a little bit of context. If you're not familiar, Close Friends is a way that you can share your content with a select group of people on stories only historically. So for instance, if you have a lot of people who follow you from your work or some other professional thing that you do, but you only want certain people to be able to see what you did over the weekend, well then you could post that to your Close Friends story, and then only people who you designated to fit into that Close Friends category could see that story. Now that's expanding to feed posts and reels. I think this is a really good competitor to Snapchat because there's so much private conversation happening on Snapchat. This is a good alternative for making something somewhat public, but still keeping it private to the level that you set. And lastly, the Threads team has added a new feature so you can opt out of having your Threads post shown on Instagram and Facebook. If you don't want your Threads posts to appear on Meta's other platforms, you can go into the settings by going to the dots at the top right of the Threads app, then select Privacy, Suggesting Posts on Other Apps, and there are switches there where you can turn off allowing your posts to be suggested on Instagram and Facebook. I can think of reasons why you would want your posts to be seen on Instagram and Facebook from Threads, but if you didn't want that, you should be able to turn that off. So it makes sense that you want to keep those conversations on Threads and not have your followers on Instagram and Facebook know about those. I will link to images showing all of this in the show notes so you can check it out for yourself. That is going to do it for today's episode. Thank you so much for listening, and be sure to come back next time for more social media news, tech news, other things I think you need to know about.
I'm not yet a member of the Instagram team, but my podcast covers many Instagram themes. But the name, image, logos are trademarks of Instagram and the LCC in the USA and every territory. Everything I publish independently until Zuck returns my DMs and starts to pay my salary. Not sponsored or endorsed, no lies, no fallacies. I use their logo with permission, not malicious or callously. No trademark violation, filling all criteria. Follow me on Instagram or Twitter at Daniel Hill Media.